Coming to you live from the This Team Sucks Ass Studios. It is the Believe in the Southside boys. I am Steve-O. You can find me on Twitter at Drunk Shy Sox Fan. And I will be at that Drunk Shy Sox Fan very soon for the rest of the season. And joining me is...
And I am Carrie. You can find me on Twitter at That Baseball Fan. And yes, I really liked how you opened that. This team stinks.
Stinks is an understatement. They stunk most of the year. They fucking blow right now, Carrie.
It's
horrendous.
It's not even horrendous. It's just not fun right now.
1,000%. So for those of you that are listening, thank you for joining us. Make sure you go and subscribe to us, not just on your favorite podcast platform, but on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and we're on YouTube live with every single episode that we have, including an exclusive episode that we did on our last one that was not posted over the podcast airwaves. So make sure you go back and listen to that one. We'll call it exclusive, but in all honesty, I may have just forgotten to drop it on the podcast waves. So go and listen to it if you're curious to know how we felt about the Texas series. So, Carrie, how are you feeling outside of this team? Because I know, just like Spag in the comments here, we all feel dead about the White Sox.
I think I've said multiple times, and I keep on saying, I'm out, I'm done, right? I'm done. But I keep coming back, right? I think after this week, it could be the actual, okay, they're not even a thought to watch for that night, right? Like right now, I'm watching every day, but like this team is dead. This team is done. I think after Houston, it's going to be out of reach, and then we can all be out of our misery, right? We can all be put out of our misery.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm really hoping that's the case, man. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous how much I've held on for this team and how much I was hoping they were going to get their shit together. And guess what? They haven't yet. And I don't know if it's too late.
It's coming. I love that. I love that after like
just wait for everybody to wait for everybody to get healthy. Wait for this guy to turn it around. Wait for
the schedule to get easier. Wait for this. Wait
for Tony's late season heroics like he did in St. Louis a couple times. None of that. Right. Yeah. Next week is the funeral.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100,000.
It sure feels that way. So yeah, and this team gives you that quick feeling of instant gratification. Like it's like, okay, they might be back. Like they might fucking be back. No, of course not. Right. I've never done heroin before, but Spag says it might be like a heroin feeling. So
yeah. And that one's always great just to put because Jim. Yes. But yeah, so Steve, today we're going to talk a little bit about this brutal series against the Royals, right?
Yep.
And then we'll go into probably the last hope they have for anything this season against Detroit, which could go either way. And if it goes one way, then Sox Twitter and White Sox fans are going to be in full meltdown mode. And then Steve, I really like, in our notes here, what you came up with to wrap up the show. Just talking about some people that we're not happy with in the White Sox organization. So, Steve, let's talk about game one.
Yeah. And thank you for the rundown of the agenda. So I make sure I don't ramble too much today.
No worries.
Jesus. Yeah, let's start with game one. It was a game one and game two were a doubleheader against the Kansas City Royals on the road. Game one was a loss, and Lance Lynn was on the mound. He took the L, giving up 4 earned runs off of 2 bombs. Both of the pitches were the same pitch, and I don't even know what to call that pitch. It's like a 90-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch that Lance Lynn served up not once but twice. Once was down and in the zone, which is not a place where you miss with off-speed stuff, and the other was down the dick. So, Jesus, Lance Lynn, fat is all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely throwing cutters that are going 90 miles per hour, and if you're throwing cutters in, especially, just like Spag said here, it's throwing a cutter. If you're throwing a cutter that's low 90s, you better make sure that it is pitched at the right time and placed in the right place.
Yep.
He's not doing either of those. So it is a big problem. And we have him for what, 1 more year, 2 more years. So it's not like Lance is going anywhere. Not like that contract's going anywhere. Exactly, Jim. So it was definitely a problem. That game was horrendous. I actually caught that game a little bit. Harrison looked very good, right? That home run he hit, only to be benched game 2 of the same day. Let Larry Garcia play. We're talking about Larry too with that. He actually got hurt in game 2, so we'll talk about that here in a second. But nothing made sense that first game. Lance Lynn was horrible hitting. They scored 2 runs against the Kansas City Royals. So just a dog shit performance by a dog shit offense and team. So
Yep.
Game 1 was not the best.
No, it was absolutely not great considering the White Sox once again only put up 2 runs. You can't put up 2 runs and win a ball game, and we'll get to that later as well as we run down the rest of the games. Game 2, they pulled off a win because they scored 3 runs. Lenyn Sosa got his start and in the majors and got his first homer. I'm not going to say anything about him being up other than it just goes to show the White Sox have 0 infield depth. And I'm going to bitch a little bit more about that later.
Yeah, well, and this is what I was going to talk about too, is you have Lenyn Sosa who hit a home run in game 2, right? Josh Harrison hits a home run in game 1, right? Larry Garcia gets a start in both games and doesn't get a hit, I don't think, in any single one of those games. So, I hate to say this, and I really hate to say this, but like the only way you can take away Larry Garcia from this crypt keeper, this geriatric fuck, Tony La Russa, is if he gets released, DFA'd, or if he gets hurt. And I hate to say that because, it's Larry. I mean, it's still Larry Garcia. He's still whatever. I don't want to see any players get hurt, but like, now we might actually see Lenyn Sosa on a regular basis, which you might as well do in the White Sox situation because the season's done, right? So, it just, none of it makes sense. And then it just goes to show you that, like, Harrison goes deep, Sosa goes deep, but Garcia still plays, and it's just there's no plan at all. They're not prepared for games at all, and it's so evident every single game.
Absolutely. No, you said it well. And Spag out here talking about the guys who are underperforming, like Moncada, Grandal, Lynn, veterans that, and Moncada's not quite at that veteran status, but 2 veterans that you thought you could count on after last season, and another guy who, was very underrated last year. I'll be honest, when you look at the stat line, and has just completely regressed. And not to mention Tony. We'll get to that too later. So game 3. Oh, it will be worth your time later when I'm fucking flipping my lid. Game 3, the White Sox get blown out by Kansas City 8-3 in a late inning loss. I'm going to blame, first and foremost, our guy in Kansas City, Adam KC, who was at the game, cursed him.
That's his fault.
Fucking sure. Adam.
Game 3's on Adam.
Yeah, not a good look. Brought the kids. Yeah, come on, man. Poor kids.
Suffer.
I exactly. Suffering not only with, no, I'm kidding. Adam's a great dad, but watching this baseball club. So let me just run through a few of the stat lines from that game. Individual stat lines. Eloy, 0 for 4, no walks. Andrew Vaughn, 0 for 3 with a walk. Yoan, 0 for 3 with a walk. Cueto had a very ugly performance when you look at the stat line, but somehow it was still a quality start. And they couldn't scratch out a fucking win. Okay? Fucking hot take Tommy's guy, Jake Diekman, giving up the go-ahead run. And then the wheels just absolutely falling off of Jimmy Lambert. What do we think about Jimmy Lambert? Did we see his true colors?
I think Jimmy Lambert's been a pretty good pitcher. I haven't looked at a Savant page yet to see really if there are any like underlying numbers that are kind of like he's exceeding the expectations. Johnny Cueto, stuff like that. But he's been pretty decent. Every guy's gonna have a couple bad games, right? I'm not giving up on the Jimmy Lambert bullpen experience yet because he's been pretty decent. You've seen guys like Ronaldo Lopez who've turned into a decent bullpen arm, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So,
definitely didn't give the White Sox any chance to win after that, though. And yeah, you're gonna have games that you get blown out, but when it's against the Kansas City Royals and you're looking to win a series against them, it's not pretty, right?
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, I mean, Spags said he went 12 innings without giving up a run. So, yeah, I guess it happens, but against an offense like Kansas City, I mean, it wasn't even a white flag move. It was like a, hey, we're down one, hold us, keep us in this. And he couldn't do it. So a little disappointing there. I'm just more disappointed with the offense that game. Again, 3 runs. They took an early lead and they couldn't hold it. And poor defense by Moncada, too, also didn't help in that third game. So, Oh, geez.
Yeah. And game 3 showed there's zero approach from any of the hitters, which leads us into what today, right?
Yeah.
Today was ugly. Today was very, very ugly. And it showed there's zero fucking approach for any of these hitters on this team. There's not one person, all right, that has any approach. Maybe Grandal, because he always does look for the walk, but like what's the plan here? What is the actual goddamn fucking plan?
There is.
And I hate that I'm swearing so much because like that's not like, I don't want to make it like that, but like this is embarrassing. This is fucking embarrassing. There is zero plate approach.
Disgusting.
I watched everything.
It's absolutely terrible to watch. It's not watchable.
Hasn't pitched, hasn't gotten out in the 7th inning in over a year, and he's got 66 pitches.
66 through 5. 66 through 5. And mind you, okay, we had runners that we were threatening in the 7th, right?
Not even the 7th. There was bases loaded, no outs. There was man on first and third, no outs. There was a man on second, 1 out. There was a man on first and second with no outs. 0 goddamn runs out of any of that.
Yep. I keep going back to the White Sox had 3, 4, and 5 up, if I'm not mistaken, in that 7th, and they could not scratch out a run. It's with a runner at second.
There's no approach. There's no plan. There's nothing. Steve, there's nothing.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad when I'm in a group chat with a bunch of guys from that I grew up with. 2 Cubs fans, a Yankees fan, and myself, right?
Sounds horrible.
When my fucking phone is getting blown up about how bad the White Sox are because they can't hit Zach fucking Greinke.
They couldn't hit Kyle Bubic.
Like, it's bad.
Let alone
in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day. Not a night game. It's a day game. And my phone's getting blown up because the White Sox can't fucking hit anybody.
Yeah, today really almost like pushed me over the edge. I'm already over the edge, but like, seriously, watching bases loaded, no outs, and then 2 strikeouts that led into like was it 3 straight strikeouts? I think. Yeah, I think it was I think it was 3 straight strikeouts. Eloy literally struck out on the same pitch 3 times. I mean, these guys are very predictable. They lean on too much of their talent and not actually playing goddamn baseball. And Steve Stone in the first inning, if you watch the game, literally described that. That's how Zach Greinke pitches against this White Sox team. All he does is he said something along the lines of, I just throw them anything and they'll swing at anything. So if I can get ahead, they're out. But he said something about how Greinke said last year with the Astros, if he was behind in the count, he could still throw them anything up there and they'll swing. And today proved that. So this team is dog shit. Their coaching is dog shit. Frank Menachino is dog shit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fucking bitch about Frank Menachino in a minute, but I do have to say this. I think this team is I have a hard time just blaming the players.
It's everybody.
And I don't know if that's a love affair with a lot of these guys.
Yes.
Because personally, 2020, 2021, a lot of these guys, I bought into how good they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believed. I looked at the deeper stat lines and outside of the narratives about Grandal and Moncada, and I said, these guys are good. And now Frank, I truly believe this. Frank Menachino, Tony La Russa, the analytics department have driven this team into the goddamn ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, how many people put money on Luis Robert to win MVP this year because of what he did at the end of last year, right? It's so funny. Like, we all bought into all this, and rightfully so. We should have.
Exactly.
Luis Robert should
be as good as Robert. Robert should be as good as Ronald Acuna right now.
Oh yeah, no, I was just. Gonna say,
truly believe that.
If you put him on a different team like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the people,
I know that's a bold fucking statement,
but it's true.
But I think he could be on that level.
There's no approach. There's not enough for him to, get to where his potential should be, because a lot of these guys can do it off talent, but you still need that team to help you, right? And the Sox just all around, they lack at everything. GM especially, that guy's a fucking loser. And then you have the owner who's terrible.
Oh, let's hop right into that. You are transitioning perfectly into this. So I got a final five myself today, and because this team has pissed me the fuck off so much, I am like avoiding videos, avoiding Sox Twitter, except to make my little quips about the game and whatnot. Jesus. I'm going to hit you with a fucking final five right now, Carrie. And I know you love these, especially when I fucking shout. Should I shout? Should I shout right into the mic? No. I'm going to be calm. I'm not even hype enough to yell. Usually I yell when the White Sox win. That's a thing, right? There's no reason to yell. There's no reason to get hype. Here we go. Here's my five things. And it's my final five. And it's not my final five because we're going to recap this upcoming series. Preview this upcoming series. But I'm going to hit you with it, okay? So it's the top five people I'm most pissed off with in this organization. The first one, and it's no particular order. First one is Rick Hahn. Enough said, right? The fact that he spent so much fucking money on this bullpen and they can't even fucking take care of business. Ridiculous. And then on top of that, I mean, you missed on Big Fish. Second guy. Chris Getz. I know that's kind of a weird one to pull out.
No, it's not.
But there's no player development. And any guy that we've called up from our system in the last couple of years has not been worth a damn. Has not been worth keeping up.
Romy Gonzalez, though. Chris Getz sold us on Romy.
Yeah. Ugh. I'll tell you what, the best ones to come out of the system, guess where they're playing? The fucking San Francisco Giants. Mm-hmm. Third one, Yohan Moncada. I've defended this guy so much, and I still love him, but Lord Almighty, he stinks this year. Oof. He absolutely reeks. You told me I should not go and grab my DH Gate Moncada jersey and go use this pocket knife that I got from one of our students last year from confiscating it. It's literally a student. Look at how flimsy that is. Can you see? Of
course, look
at how flimsy this Walmart pocket knife is. You told me not to cut it up, so I will not cut it up. Yeah, I know. I try not to keep up with what my favorite Lloyd is up to. Number 4. Tony La Russa. Gary's going to lose his shit. And it's not just because of my list. He destroyed this clubhouse mentality that the White Sox have. He absolutely destroyed what what there was. And I'll be honest, I was not a big Ricky Renteria fan, but at least he let the kids play.
Mm-hmm.
He carried Tony La Russa last year, carried off of the mentality and that fun that Ricky Renteria built. He rode the wave the first half of 2021, and it all came crashing down. Over the last, 100 and probably 160-ish games, we have seen the effects of Tony La Russa.
Yeah.
My final one is Frank Menachino. And I'll leave you to just complain about Frank Menachino, Kerry, because I know you got enough to say about him.
Yeah. So, Frank Menachino. Saw a stat today from Jeremy Frank. Also went to Stevenson, by the way. So, there is a stat. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 now. 5 teams. 700 of the 5 White Sox first 1,000 hits this year were singles. Most recent teams to finish the season with at least 70% of their hits being singles were the 2015 Braves, 67 and 95, dog shit. And the other 3 teams happen to be 2015, 2016, and 2018 Marlins. All dog shit teams. Now, Steve, do you know what the significance of those 3 Marlins teams were?
I do, but I'm gonna let the mysterious, let the mystery linger for a second for our listeners here and see what those Marlins teams might have in common.
To this White Sox team. Frank Menachino is the fucking hitting coach. That's what the common, thing is here. So literally out of the only 5 teams to ever do this, ever, 4 of them will now have been coached by Frank Menachino and his QAnon loving ass. Okay? So this guy's gotta go. I don't even know why he's still even here. You would think he'd be gone by now. I mean, the Cubs fired Chili Davis after like 10 games.
Literally, I thought about that.
Yeah,
it's how the White Sox have literally just tried to squeeze everything out of Frank Menachino.
Ugh,
literally, the Cubs,
reason?
Even when they were on their downfall, cut Chili Davis.
Yeah,
right?
They were like, they
just
were like
part ways when shit's not looking good.
Exactly.
And they're still, this organization's still hanging on. They're like so afraid of change. I don't know what it is.
That's because of Jerry Reinsdorf. Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't like change, hence why it took him forever to get rid of Paxton and Gar, right? And look what happens. You get rid of them, and the Bulls are a good franchise again. It makes no fucking sense that he's so afraid of, changing things up from Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams, who are not getting the job done. So let me go into my 5.
Oh, you got 5 as well. Good.
Oh, I got 5 as well. Frank the Bitch was number 1. I call him Frank the Bitch because he's a QAnon loving asshole. Okay, I hate Frank Menachino, so he's got to go. There's nothing else. He needs to go. He needs to be gone. I hate to blame it on somebody, but this whole fuck the home run, hit 300 approach, no, it's not working. Eloy Jimenez, Jose Abreu, Luis Robert, they're not hitting home runs. This is insane. Literally insane. So he's got to go. Rick Hahn, you already talked about it. Rick Hahn's a complete and utter failure. Did nothing in the offseason and then proceeded to do nothing in the trade deadline. So what is he here for? Might as well have just Kenny Williams running the team still. And I'm not even being sarcastic. What is Rick Hahn literally here for if he's not doing anything? 2 out of the 3 seasons you're in your window, and you had to augment your roster with nothing besides Nomar Mazara, Adam Eaton, and AJ fucking Pollock. So he's terrible. Tony La Russa sucked everything fun out of this team. You could tell players hate him. Don't care what anybody says. He's got to go. 4, the players. I mean, they've all underperformed this year. Every single one of them. Maybe besides Andrew Vaughn's hitting well, right? He's hitting well. Luis Robert's still hitting well, right? But they're not hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Okay. So they've now become singles hitters. And the one thing I think I'm really upset with, and the team doesn't give a shit about the fans, and it's so evident. They do everything through their media, right? And their media treats the fans like shit. Steve Stone treats everybody like shit, right? Saying all this stuff about, enjoy the ride, blah, blah, blah. now he's backfiring against that. So you're gonna go ahead and give all these White Sox fans shit for all this, the whole season saying, "Well, just wait for it," and now you're just not tweeting and you're backing out of things. So Steve Stone, you're a loser too, and Chuck Garfien calling people losers yesterday. It's just there is literally no reason to like this team, but I'm still gonna watch. So maybe I'm the loser, So
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have season tickets. I have all that stuff. I mean, maybe I'm the one being duped, but I just like to go. I like to see the people, and Sox Twitter's too much fun. So, if it wasn't for that, I think I would have jumped ship by now.
Yeah, thank God we've got a nice little community here that we bank off of and we interact with, because outside of that, there would be no reason to stick around. So thank you. I mean, I just don't get it. So thank you to everybody that sticks around and actually, listens to us, interacts with us. We appreciate it, because y'all are the only reason that I'm sticking around right now. This team fucking sucks, and it's just an absolute disappointment right now. I know this is like fucking depression hour right now, but
but it's reality.
Yeah, I got to get my emo boy on here, but that's what this team has led me to, because hide the razor blades. Really, it's been a ride. I'll tell you that much, Steve Stone. It's been a fucking ride.
It's like
and
the
apologies,
ride from Final Destination 2.
Yes, and apologies for all of our language today, but that's the mood we are in.
Absolutely.
Well, our guy, you know what? Our guy Husky Bardo in the comments here wanted to ask, what do you want to see the last 50 games out of the White Sox, Gary?
Does it really matter? I mean, what if they fight and they do well? They get third place in the division by losing by a game. I mean, it reminds me of like Mr. 3000, where they're fighting for fourth place, right? Like Flint Tropics, like fourth place, right? Like, is that at this point? I'd rather just kind of see them stink it up and get a better draft pick. Like that even matters, because that's not going to even matter with this team. I mean, I don't know. I made a joke earlier saying maybe they just suck the rest of the year, and then we do another rebuild in 2028 is in hindsight again. So
hindsight was 2020. I thought,
yeah,
right, Gary?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I can't even blame it on a global pandemic. You can't blame it on a
nope,
lockout.
not anymore.
None of this.
Nope.
None of this, man. Like, you've had so many opportunities to capitalize and to make this team good, and they've just been pissed away. I don't know if I'm at a level of I want to see this team show a pulse, like Brian said, and definitely not as low as I don't know. I don't think I want to see them fucking lose either.
No, I don't want them to lose. I want them to win the division, but like it's not gonna fucking happen. So
I mean, I don't know.
I hope it does. I don't know.
I'm not hanging my hat on it. I'm definitely not thinking that somehow they're gonna make a miracle season out of this. That's for sure.
Actually, if they do make the playoffs, it probably would be the worst fucking thing that happens, because then nothing will change in the offseason. They'll say, well, Rick Collins made the playoffs 3 years in a row, fans. Come on.
Right.
What are you upset about?
You make a really valid point right there. If they make the playoffs, there's going to be less call for change.
Absolutely. Tony,
I almost want to see them fall flat on their face, lose the division, a shitty division, by like 7 games at this point. Like, I know that's bad to say, but I would almost rather see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to tickets, are you officially out, Carrie? Because we've got multiple people making ticket jokes in the comments, and
I'm not renewing next year.
Yeah.
I'll just be splitting with our boy Alex Rude. So there's no chance. There's no shot. There's no shot.
I literally
it was fun, but
literally do not blame you at all. Thought at the beginning of the season, I was like, man, I don't have enough games at 10. I have 10.
That's what I did last year. I had 10, and now I got 40. And I'm like, I have too many games, and the guy that sits behind me stinks. So,
is it this guy right here who told you to buy your 40 game plan today?
Yes, and it was the guy that took what I made up, which was I hate it here. So I made that up, and then he stole it and made it his.
Yes, and he's such a nice guy. He's offering you some of his tickets.
I
Gary.
know,
That's so
I
nice
know.
of him.
I
So
love Brian.
yeah, Brian's a great dude. Jesus, I
Welcome,
can't
Jim. I hope you enjoy.
I can't wrap my head around how bad this team is. All right, well, we're at the half
Let's
hour mark.
quickly
Let's take the next
talk-
5 minutes to talk about the Detroit series. How many games are you going to, Gary?
I'll be there Friday, and I'll be there tomorrow, and I'll be there Saturday, and then Beer Garden Dry Gym is taking my tickets on Sunday.
Perfect.
So, please
Yeah,
annoy Jim on Sunday.
I will. I'm planning on being there all 3 games. I got a buddy coming in from hometown on Friday. I got but my old college roommate I'm going with on Saturday, and then Sunday I picked up a freebie. So shout out to Roxy. Actually, I took her one ticket.
Nice.
I was just like I wanted to get out on Sunday. I just said, hey, forget it. I just want to go to the ball game and do whatever the hell I want to do, because that's Sunday. So yes, I am. I don't know. I'm excited to take people to the ballpark and interact in the ballpark. Definitely not excited for the product.
I don't even know who's pitching, because I know it's not Dylan Cease, so it's probably Kopech, Giolito, Lynn. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, that probably
makes
checks
sense.
out. That probably checks out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the Detroit Tigers coming into town. When I took notes, it was last night. They were 2-8 in their last 10. They are now 2-9 in their last 11 after losing to the Cleveland Guardians today, 4-3.
Cool.
If this team wants to give me some glimmer of hope, which I know they're going to do, like they're going to do exactly what they've been doing, Carrie. I'm going to call it right now. You want my bold prediction?
Let's hear it.
Are they going to sweep? Right now I'm like hide the razor blades. This team is going to sweep the Detroit Tigers this weekend. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean they play 3 lefties, even though they've been pretty shitty against lefties lately. I don't know if you saw that stat too, but they do face 3 lefties, which is nice.
I mean, honestly, they have been worse against lefties in the last month or so than they have been in the last 3+ years.
Yep. So Sox can't even, we're facing a lefty today, so we're good. It's
literally means nothing anymore.
Means nothing anymore.
Literally means nothing. And Brian, I do appreciate that you made the rotation joke here about Baldwin, Soraka, Parquet.
Steve, you weren't even alive for them.
I was actually. I was a wee lad, but I was alive.
You didn't have to suffer through that.
You know the old saying,
Jamie
right?
Navarro too. What?
The Parquet Soraka bring out. Yeah. Bad rotation back in the day. Parquet Soraka bring out the vodka.
Yep.
So,
and then you had shitty Keith Folk and Bob Howery. Remember Bob? Do you remember him at all?
Oh, Bob Howery out of the bullpen. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Keith Folk was the man, though.
Okay, I like this. If they don't sweep, Steve has to go Charlie Villanueva, and you have to go full. You have to shave your eyebrows and everything.
Oh, not the eyebrows. Absolutely not the eyebrows. Very funny. Jim said, "Don't shave your head." Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree.
I get my little patchiness back up top of my head.
What
do you think, Carrie?
I was just gonna say, I think your statement could definitely happen. I could see them kind of, reevaluating themselves and going, what the hell did we just do? We got to figure this out. They'll put in 3 games where they can actually play to their level of shittiness, beat Detroit. I could see them. They're going to win at least 2. They'll probably lose game 1. They'll probably lose tomorrow. They always lose the first game, and then they'll win the next 2, look okay, which would put them if they're 500 right now, they go to, so they'd be 1 game over 500, to which you face Houston, which would then I think we lay rest to this team. So
that's my
prediction.
Yeah, so Houston's gonna be that'll be a lot of fun, right, Gary? Detroit doesn't scare me outside of their bullpen. And It's Chafin, Jimenez, Lang, Soto. They've all been above league average relievers this year. Cough, cough, Rick Hahn. You don't have to spend literally a third of your budget on a
Jimmy Lambert's
bullpen.
literally living proof, and so does Ronaldo fucking Lopez. So,
yeah.
But we needed Joe Kelly over Jock Peterson. So,
yeah. Go. God. Fucking awful. Just awful choices. Seriously. So, I mean, I'm gonna say this: the White Sox need to score early and often against these bad starters that they're gonna face against Detroit. They don't even have Tarek Skubal, who is on the IL still. They will not face a single good starter. Like, I think the best starter they'll face is Brisky, if he hasn't gone in the last couple of days. Bo Brisky. And he has like an ERA plus of like 90.
It's Daniel Norris, Matt Manning, and Tyler Alexander.
There you go. Just light these dudes up, please. There's zero excuse for them not to destroy those pitchers.
Especially Daniel Norris. He's got a 6.9 ERA, and the Sox will score 2 runs and win 2-0.
Every time I hear Daniel Norris's name, all I can think of is the cat from Harry Potter, Mrs. Norris.
I didn't watch Harry Potter.
Not a Harry Potter kid?
No. I watch Adult Swim, Steve. I watch weird things.
Wow, you're so edgy, Carrie. I'm so proud of you, man.
Sorry. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I definitely think they win the series, like you said, and I could see a sweep. So bold, but I think realistic. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen with Detroit.
Yeah. Well, before I ask you for your our final thoughts here, Carrie, our guy Spag here said, I said the White Sox could sweep. And he said, if they don't sweep, I have to shave everything off. So I'll tell you what, if the White Sox don't sweep, I'm thinking about maybe shaving my entire beard, but I need something good from Spag here. Like, I need him to tell me something that he'll do or something that somebody else will do instead. So I'm willing to throw that bet on the line. So,
didn't you rip off your back hair or something like that a few years ago?
I did in the 108 tournament. Shout out to the 108 guys who are going live in about 15 minutes. So make sure you go tune into @from the 108. They have a podcast every single week. This is a no free ads podcast though, so yes. I can't say any more about them. But yeah, during the tourney, I definitely did some waxing of back hair. Shout out to Austin Zick for helping me out with that. It was a terrible experience for everybody involved, but yeah, I don't know. Somebody's willing to make a bet with me about the White Sox not sweeping this weekend.
We'll post it on the page. We'll post it on the page and we'll poll it. How about that?
There we go.
Perfect.
So, Carrie, it's a blast as always, despite this team just absolutely taking an absolute dumpster dive this past week. So hopefully the weekend's more fun. Hopefully we all have a good time at the ballpark this weekend. I'll miss you on Sunday, though. I'll make sure that I come and embrace you on Friday and Saturday.
Absolutely. I will see you. And then, we'll talk on Sunday, and hopefully we're happy because if this series goes any other way, like we're saying, I think it's going to be even more swearing and radicalness than we had today. I think we're going to just be like, I'm going to be throwing shit. So.
No, 1,000%. So thank you for those of you that joined us, especially those of you that joined us live on YouTube. We really appreciate you in the comments and joining us. We are live on YouTube every single episode that we do. We do 2 episodes a week. We're even giving you overtime. So we're hovering around that half hour, 40-minute mark. So come join us. We appreciate all of you coming in. Have a great night. Go White Sox, even though they drive us crazy.
Have a good night.
Peace.